Alright guys, be showing you how to do the install on the Grant security system sold by MSA on my Momo steering wheel right here. I've already kind of have a head start on this. There's four Allen head bolts that go through here that you got to take off whenever you first start on each of these little holes. There's one, I've already taken them off. They're right here. Now once you have those out, you can go ahead and remove this, and you'll be able to attach the main hub, these three bolts, to the actual hub attachment that'll also come with the kit. Now, the whole reason why I didn't get to film this in the beginning is because the three holes in mine didn't quite line up. So I had to use a Dremel to just file away at the ends of the triangle bolt pattern, just to give me enough clearance. Then all I did was bolt up the two halves, and that's where we are so far. I'll be filming the rest of the way through. Alright, go ahead and push the centerpiece of this out to make it easier to work with. Instead of having to deal with the whole steering wheel, I can just work with the... Oh, crap. Alright, just push that out, and you have your horn. Easier to work with than the whole steering wheel. Now, I've already set aside a connector for this. Any parts store will have one that'll fit. I mean, just buy a generic one that you think will fit for your application. What I did was I bought a terminal and connector assortment kit. Has all sizes. Alrighty. Now, this piece is the piece that'll actually connect to the steering wheel, and then that'll connect to the quick release mechanism here. What I'll be doing is I'll be wiring the horn button to this piece. Pretty straightforward. Connect the red wire only, since this is a one wire horn. And that's what I'll do right now. This piece came pre-assembled. Don't have to mess with it. Just all I'm gonna do is change the connector on it, because this tiny little one will not fit my horn piece. So I'll change it with the blue one that I showed you guys earlier and go from there. Now, in order to make the connector fit, just wait for the camera to get on focus. Alright, all I'm gonna do is just crimp it right about there. Then I'm gonna come a wire stripper. Sorry. It's a lot easier to do with 3 hands, so I'll do my best with 2. Okay. Alright, just strip off about enough to make a clean connection. On with this little guy. Then you slide him through. Go ahead and crimp that on. Alright, go ahead and pause it because I'm going to need both hands, but all I'm going to do is crimp that connection right there. Alright, you're going to want to make sure you have a good connection, solid connection right there, so it'll make good contact. Now that I have that prep, I'm going to go ahead and start the mount onto the horn itself. Now for that, well, I guess I could do that later. Alright, I'm just going to mock it up right now onto the horn, make sure everything is going to work nicely, and then I'll just unplug it from the connection right there to here and mount it onto the steering wheel. Perfect fit. Well, more or less what it will look like in there. Alright. So make sure none of your wires are going to get in the way. Tuck them out of the way. Clip them, tape them. I'm going to electrical tape the end of it just to make sure there's no unnecessary grounds. But instructions say you can grip them short. Alright, all I've done was push the button back into the mount. Everything is still good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and connect it before I finish mounting it. Should be easy enough. Alright, make sure you have a good solid connection there. And then all we're gonna do is line up the holes on the steering wheel with the holes in the mount. After you've done that, just go ahead and bolt it down with whatever bolt you select from your hardware store. Make sure it's something high grade. Alright, once you have them all in there, nice and tight, not overly tight, just nice and tight. Make sure everything is nice and snug, no free play, and everything is set. Once that's done, we'll move on to the main part over here. Alright, instructions call for a one wire system like for cars. To simply crimp this, well, cut it and trim the plastic coating off, then slide it into this butt connector and crimp it into place. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Alright, once you've gone through, make sure there's no way these two wires are coming apart and that they're making good contact. It's time to put this back inside and bolt it all together. Alright, important tip, to line it up easier because it's such tight tolerance, just go ahead and slide your hex bolts that you took out earlier. Oh, I'm having a hard time getting into focus. There you go. You can see, fit all four of the hex bolts through, so it'll be a lot easier to line up when you have it all in there. Alright. Alright, and with that, I already bolted down. All we have to do is just put it together. Alright, just like that, quick release system is done. Now, you can readjust to have the key position wherever you want, or on those 5 bolts. Turn the steering wheel around whichever way you want. I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at the bottom, as to not to hit it with anything at the top, and not to interfere with anything else. And also, so the key will be easier to put on the left side. But that's it for this video.